KPA just take apart Elan Coton in this second matchup. I was just happy. Let's just talk about this because this is just so exciting. This was a must-win game, especially for KPA. KPA won this game 68-48. I even put the score on the screen, and you can also see some playbacks. I'll just speed the things up so I can just talk about this. This is actually quite awesome. I made a video talking about the first game that they played against Dynamo. My God, that game was not a good game, especially for KPA, because the way they played there, the way they matched up against Dynamo was not the greatest, and they didn't get blown out. But in this game, things just took like a turn, and it was very interesting to see KPA just win. They won by 20 points, and at some point in the third, I was quite shook, especially when I was watching the game, because I saw a situation where Elan Coton were just trying to cut the lead, and this actually was quite surprising to me. And if KPA didn't play their cards right, there was quite a slight chance if they let a run continue, Elan Coton would have taken us down. But you could see some shots were just falling, especially down the stretch from downtown. Points in the paint, scored pretty well, especially in points in the paint, 36 points in the paint. Our bench points were great, 39 bench points, 10 second chance points, and 24 points from turnovers. So we were actually benefiting from points of from turnovers, and despite even being out rebounded, because this thing is actually something that is this is something that is shocking, because we got out rebounded, and 47 to Elan Coton to 38 KPA. And defense rebounds, that's one thing that we didn't take care, and we just rebounded the ball 24 times defensively and 14 offensive. But the 14 offensive boards were necessary, especially for them second chance points. And we had a couple of chances that we needed to knock them down. If we didn't knock them down, there's a high likelihood that we'll have blown this game, but we didn't. KPA didn't. And one thing that I saw that was different from this game, from the previous game that they played against Dynamo, KPA are actually on the front foot. I saw some players just come in and just play well. I saw Lennox play well. Eugene, he played well. He was decent. He was knocking down them free throws, trying to finish them, second chance points, hit them layups. And he has been great. And also the new additions, the 4 guys who came in, they've been balling out pretty well. And we'll also look at that as well. And we had that nice way to finish the half with a I mean a 30-foot or even 35-foot heave to just end the half. And that's when I just knew this game, there was no way KP are going to lose this game at all. And judging by the way Elan Coton were playing, it just looked like they were playing. Elan Coton were playing the way KPA played yesterday. There was no structure when it came to Elan Coton. KPA just had that structure. They stuck to a game plan and it worked. And being on the front foot really helped, because just pressing the defense, pressing Elan Coton's defense, and let me just call them EC, just pressing EC's defense, because and making sure that they're always on their feet, because at some point I saw Dynamo were really defending us pretty well, and we were not able to even convert even with possessions, and we had a lot of turnovers in that time. But looking at the way we played, you could see there was a bit of structure, and we were capitalizing on every single basket, every single possession we were able to at least score. But I saw a couple of possessions where number 13, even we're going to talk about him, because man, this guy Haidara, my God, this guy, he had 4 points. Okay, he had 7 rebounds, but man, he had 4 personal fouls, and some possessions he was being fed the ball inside and he was playing the 5 spot, and I saw 4 to 5 baskets he missed, and he couldn't even bring the ball up. And that was actually quite concerning, because when I watched this, I was like, if he had at least scored and at least capitalize on those chances, if he had good footwork, would have been able to like push the lead and have like a good like points differential. But it is what it is. Things are just different, especially in tight games. And man, it was great. Shooting wise, we shot we shot well actually from downtown. At Elan Coton, really EC were really struggling, especially from downtown. They only they made the fewest threes, and this was actually great because we just had a 2.2% drop off, especially when it came to threes. 27% from downtown for KPA, and 36% on 2-point field goals. But generally, both teams, us and EC and KPA, really didn't look the greatest, especially when it came to like shooting the basketball in the field. And this was something that when I looked at, I it really kind of puzzled me because in the Dynamo game, I never even mentioned this in the Dynamo game, but you could see we were second to every single ball. We were just waiting for them to miss, and so that you can go in transition. And we still stuck to the same game plan of transition offense. We didn't have like good transition defense in the Dynamo game, but this one was kind of improved, but not that quite improved because as you could see, the EC team were not able to like have and bother us in the transition. Their half court sets were not the greatest, and they're not converting easily, and they're taking a lot of difficult shots. KP, we just played like some fundamental basketball, structured, not much like no much fancy plays. At least we got the job done. Okay, it wasn't like the most like entertaining style of basketball, but at least we were able to like capitalize on the mostly on possessions that we had, because if we didn't, we would really struggle, especially against this team. And mind you, like we need to at least beat Pazi with more than 12 points. But in my case, I feel like we need to blow them out like brutally, come on the front foot. I know Pazi is different from this Elan Coton team, so we have to like be on the front foot, because losing that will really dip our chances in going to the next phase. So putting the best foot forward is necessary. But this game was actually quite interesting. It was quite good. We saw a couple of lead changes, especially in the first quarter and early in some minutes in the second quarter. But since from the second quarter to the fourth quarter, KPA was just on the front foot, and they just managed to pull away, especially in the fourth. When I saw like some very good threes, just get hit down the stretch by Tyrone, I thought that was the deal breaker. When I saw that, I was very excited. I was so happy when I saw those threes just sink in and go in, and having a good points tally of 68. And despite even not shooting more than 40% from the field, we took a lot of field goals. Tyrone, man, he shot 4-14, which was not the great. It was not good at all. It was not looking good. And honestly, if you ask me, I wasn't that happy when I saw like him missing like that. But he was able to make only 2 out of 9 threes that he attempted, which was not the great thing. Okal Koranga, he went out early. He didn't even register any points, scores. I saw he had like a injury scare, especially in the first quarter, so they took him out. I saw even Jobu didn't play. Eugene Adera, 18 minutes played. He only had 8 points, 3 of 10 shooting from the field. Lennox, he had 9 points. He actually had a game. Yeah, he had one of his games that he scored 9 points. 21 minutes played. I feel like him being on the backcourt and him and Eugene being at the backcourt, then they change up and put Lukman and Tyrone at the backcourt. This is actually pretty good. When they just switch up and like they don't mix up the players. They don't put Lennox and don't put Lukman together, because some players just need to have some tandem, especially in the backcourt. So when they're doing the substitutions, if they just changed Lennox and Eugene, you have to take them out and put these two guys in there so that they can command the backcourt. I don't feel like if you mix up things are not gonna work well. They got Anthony Kidongo, 16 minutes played, 6 points. Lukman, he was actually great. He had 12 points. Bright, number 0, he played heavy minutes, 30 minutes, together with Tyrone, 14 points. And yeah, I mean, we had a overall efficient game. No, no like negative plus minus, because the negative plus minus are being generated by like the losing team, Elan, Coton, BBC. EC were not like, they didn't know like how to structure their games and structure their plays pretty well, and they were taking a lot of tough shots, and from those tough shots that they were making, it was advantageous for KPA, because with every single like shot that they took that was not great, they lost it, and it was such a good thing. And even looking at the defense that they're trying to put up, the lucky thing was they were making some mistakes, especially when they're passing the ball. We were able to have like a couple of interceptions in there. We had a couple of steals in there, which really came in handy. We had 15 total steals for KPA, 16 assists, and we had one turnover shot from yesterday's. But EC, I mean Elan Coton had 30 turnovers. My God, this was sad, and they led even with 17 fouls. So at that point, you just know when you do that, you're just gonna lose. You're just gonna lose the game. But one thing that was very concerning to me, even with the guys who were brought in for KPA, is not getting it together on the line. In the line, I mean that's one thing that really pisses me off. Because Eugene Adira, man, 2 of 6 from the line, man. He missed 4 free throws. I mean, Haidara missed 4 free throws as well. Tyrone missed only 1 free throw, and Bright 0 for 2. I saw like a situation where if you don't like make those free throws, it really hurts us in the end. Just having to concentrate and make those free throws. Just try to put the points tally just at a maximum, because they're free throws. You just have to make sure to like make those shots, and we didn't make those shots like the way we needed to. I know it comes in the heat of the game, but honestly, we just needed to make those shots, especially from the line. And man, I mean, we had Bright. He had 14 points, 9 rebounds. I mean, he had 9 rebounds in there and 2 steals and a block. But those 2 personal fouls and 3 turnovers really, I can say, somewhat like hampered the progression, like hampered like his overall stat line. But it was something that they most definitely like. We need to like keep them in a minimum, especially the turnovers, just taking care of the basketball. And man, it was just great. They're just awesome. Hopefully in that next game we're able to turn up well. I know I've put like 1.5, so you can see like the game is actually quite quick. It's quite fast, and I'm just excited to see KPA just play well. So next up is Pazi. I know Pazi are not gonna give us like an easy go around, because majority of the time, one thing I'm pretty sure of is if we kind of let up and we're not able to like concentrate and get in the game and get in the front foot from the tip, from the start of when the ball is just live, and we just go down by like 10-15 points, especially in the first quarter, even the second quarter, we're just gonna lose that game. And one thing I've seen with KPA is when we get beat, when KPA gets beat like by like 10 points, and there's a 10-point buffer there, it's very difficult for them to recover. I've seen this play given the national team, because I've seen something that this is the same thing I've seen when we get like beat by like 10-15 points, 10-15 points spread. Our heads just drop, and we're just trying to try to like finish the game and make the scoreline respectable. But one thing that reigns true is our coaching. Especially I'm seeing KPA having a new coach and youth players. How will they respond? Because you've seen KPA had a poor game yesterday, and they responded with a win today. I know Dynamo and Elan Coton are very different, two different teams, but with them being two different teams, I know they have two different sets and ideologies that come into them. But honestly, the mentality doesn't have to change that much. We have to find a way to win the games. given even different opponents. Pazi, I know Hashim Thabit is there, and they have been really dominating, especially in the Tanzanian league, and they have home court advantage because they are playing home. So finding a way to be able to like stop like points in the paint, because I saw if we have a team that is physical and they're always driving and we're not defending, especially in the paint, KPA really struggles. Man, I mean that was a nice shot right there. That was actually a very good shot. But honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy. I know a lot of people think that when you come to this channel, we are talking bad about KPA or even the national team. When you're seeing these teams like play outside, nah. I'm just here to like support the team all in all, and just to make sure that give my 2 cents when on things I see them. And KP have just had an impressive game. I was watching this game and I was just praying, man, when I saw it. EC, the Elan Coton basketball team, like cut the lead to 7. There was this time it was 48-41. Sometime at some point I was like, man, we shouldn't blow this. But some shots just went in late in the game, especially in the fourth. We turned it up a bit, went to the line, made some couple of free throws, not all of them, but some of them just crucially to make us win the game. Couple of assists. I saw Lennox assist 2 threes to Tyrone, and Tyrone just knocked them down casually. This guy has knocked down a couple of threes that really were very crucial, especially down the stretch. I saw he had on 9 attempts, he only made 2, and those 2 that he made them especially when the game was coming to like when the game was just late in the game. He took those late game shots, and those late game shots really came in handy, and they just made the lead balloon. As you can see on the screen, in the third quarter it was 30-41, and ECB were really trying to cut the lead, and you could see that attempt was no good. At some point I was like, man, we need a 3, man. Like I was just asking myself, like, where are those shooters that you need? Where are they? We need them so they can be able to like win that basketball game. And you can see KPA just those second chance points, those second chance balls in there. You can see that quick that quick layup inside. Those are the things that really kind of like took us off our element, took us off our game a bit, but we just stuck to it and we just tried to maintain that lead. Defense, just play some defense, play some offense, and always just trying to find the right play to make. You can see Sivachi there, he scored, and there was some good defense, especially from KPA. Like we're not that wide open, but I feel like the Elan Coton team were not as physical when it came to like defending KPA. I feel like Dynamo did a very good job in defending KPA, and they played suffocating defense. And Coton didn't like pose a lot of threat, like defensively. They don't they didn't even suffocate us that much, but we were able to manage and we were able to get those shots up, and that's why we won by 20 points. And you can see that turnover there almost led to a basket in the first time, but you could see foul drawn. And man, I mean, Anthony just took a shot right there, and it's road to BAL. I mean, this game, I just know they're just gonna get physical more, keep getting physical. And I must say, I was actually looking forward to like just seeing KPA's performance, and this performance will just dictate like how KPA are just going to move, especially when it comes to just participating in like the road to BAL. Let's say, for example, for instance, we just make it past like all these teams. Just after just making it past all these teams and just proceed to the next, will we just continue just playing the same way and not change anything, or can we just try to adjust per team? Because one thing I've seen, the way we played Dynamo is not the same way that we have played Elan Coton. And having like the awareness, and like even having like good coaching, a good coach, and good and players in there, just scheming and looking at ways to attack the team and looking at ways to be able to, like, win that basketball game is actually quite crucial, and I've liked it. And honestly, if you ask me, I just feel great. I mean, I've seen, like, some bit of changes. I know the changes happened, like, the game was yesterday and the game was today. Where they panned out, and you can see that's a nice shot, and especially by Anthony inside there. I mean, that was great. That was great. And you can see, like, even like the way we were defending. You see ball movement. There was not a lot of ball movement in yesterday's game, and that thing really shocked me a lot. And this game, could see there was a couple of players moving off the ball. The possessions were being thought out, and you can see there was, like, some good structure in there. I know the games are just going to get progressively difficult as we move forward, but I'm more optimistic to see. I'm very optimistic, and I know for a fact that the adjustments are going to be made to take us to that next level, especially when it comes to, like, just playing well. I know I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I know Pazi are just waiting. They have done, like, they've done a number on, a couple of teams, especially in their local league, and they have been great, no doubt. But KPA, this is a do or die. Like, this is actually a do or die, like, season, road to BAL season. If KPA just doesn't, like, have something that is quality, especially when it comes to, like, playing quality basketball in this road to BAL campaign, it might be like the last time they will be there, because you can see, I'm pretty sure Thunder is also scouting them. They're looking at some players. I know some players here, like, there are 5 players who are not going to play in the local league, but there are players who are going to play in the local league, and they're just scouting them and just looking at how they respond to situations. And this is the best test, because if you see, like, some players, like, play like the way they play, and we're just looking at them, like, in their progression, you can try to see which exploits they can take. They can try to take advantage of. That's when, like, you've been figured out. But I'm pretty sure KPA, they're a good team. They're elite, and they can try to see how they can change up things. Don't want a situation like the way they had last time, where they just got schooled. I know Dynamo kind of schooled KPA, but given, like, the people that I've seen, like, the way they have the output that I've seen from the players today, I must say I'm not changing my guard that much. But I feel like there are a couple of things that, even given this win, we need to change up and need to make sure that we have them on lock. Because, see, Eugene being aggressive is one thing, Lennox being there and getting his shots up. That's something that is required, especially in such a contest. And having all these players, playing a string, especially defensively, I've seen, you know, players just, moving as a unit and also communicating on defense. You can see that, and also, like, not letting any ball go inside, like protecting the paint at all costs and making them pay, especially in transition. Like, you can even see in this possession, they tried that shot, it didn't go in, and you could see how quick we are. And nice pass, nice assist by Lennox, and a quick finish to get the 2 points in there. And I know it's something that wouldn't happen, like, in every single possession, but exploiting and just punishing those mistakes made by those teams is necessary, and just drawing fouls and going to the line is necessary as well. So I'm happy. I'm happy with this result. I'll take this win any day, because if we went down 0 for 2, I would have just known this was just going to be over for us. You can even see Eugene there diving for the ball. You can see that grit, and that defense, that suffocating defense, is what has really, really helped. See Eugene, he tries the attempt there, tries to do the foul, and he just dives for the ball. I mean, it's just, never giving up on the play and just making sure you just suffocate everything. And this is one of those things that when I was watching the game live, I felt happy. This is how they're supposed to play. You can see that assist. to Jordan, Tyrone Jordan. You can see he made it, and he had like another three that he hit. He hadn't even hit like a three. He was 0 for 7 at the time, but those threes, when they just got knocked down, and knocked down those threes, they really helped at that time. And I'm actually really happy to see that. You can see that he's just planning in Lennox in there, and he has another three in there. He makes it, and that's one thing that I like. You can see that defense. No one was able to get into the paint, especially the Elan Coton team. No shots were going in, and whoever tried to drive, they were just being like crowded out, and they were not able to like even get even a shot off easily in there. And this was one of those schemes that you could just see. KPA's second game shows that they understood the assignment, crafting a way to play defense, convert it to offense, and not giving up on every single possession, and just making sure that to win that game. So the lead just KPA just kept pulling away and drawing the fouls, just kept drawing the fouls in there, and not only even drawing the fouls, but at least making sure to steal the ball. Eugene, he goes there with that layup. Number 11, Kyrie, he's just there. He's just that guy, man. He had just a good game. He had a good game in there. It was just team basketball. There was not a player just going off, but just playing as a unit and knowing that every possession counts is what matters at this point. And just knowing who is where. But number 13 really, I mean, he from KPA, I mean, he was really struggling, especially scoring inside. I've seen like a couple of shots that he missed, especially inside, like 6 of them. And even I mentioned this earlier, like if this guy plays the 5, like he really struggles, because even any assist that is going in there, he's not able to like rise up with the basketball where he's holding it, or he's pumping the basketball, like and just rising up, to go up in there. So he can't adjust, and he can't do it. So this guy just needs to find his own way and fix that, because as we continue in road to BAL, it's just going to get progressively difficult. And at this point where KPA just casually cruising to the victory, and there's just no much aggression in there because the game was already decided. And honestly, if you ask me, I just knew when I just saw this, I was just happy to see that win, because man, winning that game and Eugene just getting blocked there, and Elan Coton hit the 3, and it's a wrap. I mean, honestly, this was a good game. This is a very good game. I feel very happy. I feel, I don't want to say like I'm too overconfident, but honestly, this is something that we needed. This is a win that we needed, and we couldn't do it without this group of players. Even despite the outcome, even despite like even my reaction in the previous video, I know I wrote like they got destroyed, but hey, you can turn it around the next game, because the games are just back to back. So you're just gonna wait and see how KPA matches up against Pazi, and from there I'll just leave my 2 cents and also just talk about the game. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments. I'm out. Peace.